Hello, my peeled potatoes. This is Sans X Blue Soul Reader, which is the dark blue soul. As you can clearly see, integrity. Woo! You had fallen down. You had fallen into the underground. Most everyone was kind. Some, however, were cruel. You befriended Toriel, but left because you needed to find a way out. The snow area was cold, considering you had on a ballerina dress and shoes. The snow made your feet cold, and you had to stop at a bridge. Someone came up behind you and spoke. They told you to turn around. You did and shook their hand. It was a skeleton named Sand. He noticed your shivering form and offered for you to follow him to his house. One he shared with his brother, the pirates. You did, and he got you some warm clothes. He even offered for you to go to a restaurant with him. After a while, you met Papyrus. He was kind. You have grown fond of the Skelebros over time, especially Sand. You even had a little crush on him. English. After a month, you had decided to continue on your journey. You left, wearing your outfit and ballet shoes. Ballet. I don't know why I like ballet so much. You made it to Waterfall where the ground was kinda wet. Your shoes were getting quite uncomfortable, so you took them off and hid them in a bush. Meanwhile, Undyne found out about you and argued with Sand about killing you. He ended up giving in. He knew what he had to do, but didn't like it. As you made it through Waterfall, you found Sand. You greeted him with a kind smile. He had on a forced one, and summoned an attack. This took you by surprise. You had to dodge the best you could. Sand saw your royal blue soul. It was absolutely gorgeous. He felt guilty, but he had to continue. You ended up getting your tutu caught on something, leaving you stuck. Sand shot attacks at you. You managed to get out of the tutu, but as you did, Sand shot the final attack. Your eyes went wide with hurt and betrayal until you fell limp. Sand had tears in his eyes, or eye sockets actually. He walked over to you and picked up your bleeding body. I was going to say form. He carried you all the way to Azor and gave him your soul. Sans never forgot what happened. Years later. Wow. Monsters were on the surface, and Frisk saved everyone, including Gaster and Azrael. The souls left on their own. No one knew where they went until one day they found their way to Frisk and Alphys, all except you. I can try to see what I can do. We may be able to get your bodies back, Alphys said. Wowie! I can't believe the souls are here, Papyrus exclaimed as some floated around him. Yeah, it's so strange, Undyne said. Wait, where's the royal blue one? Undyne asked. The soul stopped and seemed to be hesitant. Are they still alive? Frisk asked. Yes, the orange one says telepathy. To Frisk, can I speak? Sans leaned against the wall, silent. Undyne looks over at Sans with a worried expression. Hey, it's alright. I'm sure she'll show up. Undyne says. Sans' eyelights were out. The yellow soul tells Frisk they can go find you. Frisk nods, apparently. The souls agreed to find the last one, Frisk says. YN, said Sans. What? Toriel asked. Her name was YN, Sans says. Oh, okay. The souls will go find YN, Frisk corrected. The souls set out to find you. You were wandering around the garden. You felt peace there. You noticed justice was coming towards you. YN, we found Alphys and the others, along with Frisk. They can help us get our bodies back. No, I will not go with that traitor there. You say stubbornly. Did I say YN or did I say Frisk? Because by accident. I said Frisk. Please, YN. I'm sure he is very sorry. He seems to have done his time feeling guilty, Justice explains. You hesitate. At least get your body back and you can leave then. Justice convinces. You give in and agree. The souls come back to the lab with you trailing. Sans sees you and stands straight up. YN, he says. You stop, then continue on, ignoring him. Sans looked down and left. You seem to have an irritated Aurora. Almost everyone could tell. You only trusted Toriel, Papyrus, and Alphys, who you have just met. You never made it far enough to meet Alphys back then. Over time, Alphys managed to get bodies for each soul, looking just the way they were before, using magic and soul power to some physical stuff. There we go. You were once again human. However, you all had to stay and make sure you guys were okay for a while. It would only take a month. Once you all appeared, you had clothes on. You wore a royal blue ballerina dress and royal blue ballet shoes. Sans and the rest were there to see it happen. Your hair was long though. Reaches down to the middle of your back. It wasn't in a bun like then. You were as gorgeous as Sans remembered you. You stood tall and proud with an unamused expression, and your arms crossed. Sans ran up to you. YN, I don't want to hear your excuses, you said, your voice as angelic as Sans remembers also. Please just no, you say, glaring at Sans. You turn your back. The others look at you in concern. What the other monsters didn't see is the tears you are shedding. Shedding. I do not curse. Sans turns slowly and walks away. Why don't you let Sans talk? Undyne yelled. You whipped around and glared with tears filled your eyes. Because he killed me, you yell, Undyne. Undyne shut up quickly. Dang, Undyne, I didn't expect it to be like that. It's someone I do not know, that's why. I trusted him as a friend, and maybe even a little more. And he goes and kills me, you say, starting to cry. Patience and kindness go over to you and hug you. Asgore and Undyne are quiet. That was my fault. Undyne says. You looked up with a confused expression. What? You ask. I told him if he didn't kill you, he and his brother would be turned in. So leave the parts of this jerkwad. Undyne says. Now you are silent. I'm sorry, Undyne says. We had to get out of the underground, she states with guilt. You relay over it. I don't think that's somebody I know, so I won't trust it. And plus, none of my friends have that type of number way. All my friends' numbers show their actual names, so yeah. It did make sense, but why did it have to be Sans as the one killing you? You took a moment, not saying anything. Once more, I can understand why you're upset. I'm sorry too, Azor says. You remain silent. Come on, Wyan. You need some rest, Kindness says. You wipe your eyes and nod. Kindness help you back to your room and left. You get changed, but keep your royal blue velvet shoes on. You put on a royal blue shirt and sweatpants. They made you feel comfortable. You lay down and try to sleep. You get up a little later and headed into the living room of the place. Everyone was in there. Did you have a nice nap? Patience asks. You only nod and sit on the couch next to them. My child, would you like to eat something? Toriel asks. You nod. You did not talk much now. You heard some whispering. Then Toriel spoke up. Oh, it looks like I'll be going to the store, Toriel says. After that, everyone leaves the room, all except for Sans. He slowly walks over to the couch and sits on the opposite side of you. You stare at the TV with your hands in your lap, just like me sometimes when it's awkward. Wyan, he says, you don't speak. Look, there is nothing I can do to take it back as much as I want to. I'm sorry. What I did was unforgivable. I've felt guilty ever since. I'm so sorry, Sans apologizes. No, I'm sorry. I overreacted. You just want to free your race and save your brother, you muttered. No! You didn't need to be sorry. You don't need to be sorry. Jesus. It's not your fault. None of it is. Sans says. Sans scoots closer. Wyan, none of it is your fault, Sans says. I never wanted to hurt you. Sans starts crying now. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. If I could go back, I would have never done it. Sans cries. I love you, Wyan. Oh, the crow. Read that one line. He sobs into his hands. You love Sans too, but should you forgive him? He is sorry. It's over now, and there is no point of holding a grudge anymore. You lean over and hug Sans from the side. Sans hugs you back after realizing what was happening. I love you too, Sans. I forgive you. Lord have mercy. You say softly, Sans. Yo, move. This is not what I wanted to happen. I'm so sorry. Realizing what was happening. I love you too, Sans. I forgive you. You say softly. Sans hugs you tighter. You lean back on the couch, taking Sans with you. He was on top of you. Not what you think it is. What am I even thinking? I'm thinking of, like, cuddles. Why am I thinking of cuddling? He continues to clutch into you and buried his head in the crook of your neck. Woo! Sans and Wyan singing in a tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G. What is wrong with me? He shook and cried a little. You rubbed his back and told him everything was okay. Sans ended up falling asleep on you. Wow! Sans! That's not surprising, actually. At least he was resting. You turn so Sans is in between you and the couch. He still holds you onto you. You eventually fall asleep as well. When you woke up, Sans was gone and a blanket covered you. You yawned and stretched. That's how I yawn. You headed into the kitchen. The other souls and Toriel, Undyne, and Sans were there. Your stomach growled, and you rummaged through the cabinets. Sans was putting away some groceries. You groaned because you couldn't find anything to eat. You sat at the table, resting your head on the counter. Justice snickered a little. What's wrong, Wyan? Patience asked. Hungry, you groaned. You were asleep for a long time, Perseverance stated. No kidding. Here you go. Sans placed Fave sweet treat in front of you. Your eye widened. The person mean eyes when they were in a rush. Your eyes widened and you gladly dug in. Of course, Sans knew your favorite treat, so I'm guessing you and Sans made up. Bravery asked. Yep, you say. You Toriel. You say. Toriel smiles. That's wonderful, Toriel says, and I looked a little nervous. So, are you okay with me? Undyne asks. You stop and look at her for a moment. No, you say. Undyne looks down. But maybe over time, you say. She perks back up a little. Over time, you did make up with Undyne. And you and Sans grew close, very close. You were on the couch cuddling with Sans. You both were in a fluffy blanket and watching TV. Your back was pressed to Sans' chest. The warm feeling of being so close to him was comforting. Both your breathing was calm. Sans placed random soft kisses to the crown of your head, or he would nuzzle the back of your head, the neck, your neck. Ooh, yay! You turned back to face him. He looked down at you lovingly and gave you a gentle kiss. You kissed back sweetly. Then you both pulled away. I love you, YN. That sounds like Sans completely. Sans whispers softly. Oh, that was a whisper? I didn't know. I love you too, Sans. You reply soft, lovingly. And done. I might do another video right after this one. So